All right.
Take it away.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Hey guys, this is Roll4Discussion, where we're going to talk about our theories, our thoughts on what might happen in the campaign, or how we feel about our character's development, and maybe a little insight into our characters.
What do we want to start at the start? What was everyone's first impressions of each other's characters?
Oh, yeah.
Lily was scared of you.
I think Yorna definitely was like, oh yeah, this is a well capable individual. Like just kind of like a baseline like respect, just purely because you could handle yourself.
I feel like Strider's first impression of Lily was that she was young, I think. It's kind of like in the terms of like her personality and how she kind of did her fighting. Like she was kind of screaming, don't do that to Jim, and like go for stabs and being loud and like and stuff. So she's not from here. She's from out of town.
You hadn't known this before.
I think from like Yorna's perspective, she mostly viewed Lily as, oh, this is a member of the caravan, just kind of protect her.
Yeah.
Looks like she can fend herself, like she can defend herself, but it's like if she needs protecting, I'll be there for her. Like
She was
nothing
a civilian.
like yeah.
She's trying her best.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay to be a civilian.
His first thoughts on Yorna was straight. It was just like she came out of the carriage, which was the Iron Legion, and so but you weren't in uniform either.
No.
So he was just kind of like, alright, so this person could be an Iron Legion. The group of pricks who run the city.
Yeah, you were probably like, oh, it's another one of these guys.
But he was relieved because there was way too many for him to deal with. So he's like, at least someone here can deal with the others while he does his thing. Yeah, and I think he was happy about that. But he did enjoy seeing the kicking off the door open to get the kobold out of the way on the carriage.
It's definitely fun playing a strength build as opposed to like a dex build, because it just feels like you can do so many different things now.
Oh yeah, you can do.
It's great. Like,
And then when it comes to your initiative rolls, it's just like, suits.
it's definitely could be better.
I think the most fun about being a dex build now, because I used to be Bjorn, is being able to try word everything into being acrobatic. Right? Like, how do you make something that, you know, you could just say it's strength by jumping really high. How do you, like, word maybe going from, like, wall to wall to get your height instead of just one big jump, like, stuff like that. It's fun trying to reanalyze how I think of moves to help suit it to Strider.
I think before, he was just like, oh, just another, like, person who could fight, and then, like, see Yorna in, like, her uniform. It's like, oh, it's a guard. Okay. Hopefully they're a good guard and not a bad guard.
It's kind of like everyone kind of fits into like their kind of roles, except for Strider, who just came out of the bushes like, hi, you know, I'm here to fight.
I was already on mission. I remember session 0 with Strider. So many things went wrong trying to like RP him correctly. Thank God we haven't met the character that I had an issue with. Anyway, I did such a Bjorn thing, right? But I think it was really fun getting used to fighting like creatures and using my bonus actions to use Hunter's Mark and Slay's Prey, just getting sneak rounds. But the session did end with me just going into a forest and seeing carriages and then being like, fuck. And then so when we did session 1, and then you get into it, I was just like...
Yeah, just like, oh, this is this bit.
It already fought like the first group of kobolds and saw the ambush being set.
So you guys are like, oh, he came in and killed like instant double killed. I'm like, bro, I've already killed like 8.
Okay.
Come back, come through. I had all their weaknesses already written down and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm more like Ranger fighter. I treat him like a fighter. He would have been a fighter at first, but I didn't want to double stack classes as well as there were a few features in Ranger that I kind of liked. But then looking and going to Rogue, only to get a few things before I dip back into Ranger for some HP. I got a question for everyone. What do you think was probably the biggest like, has your character had any big, like, moment that you think has made them reevaluate how they think or how you play them so far?
Currently for Yorna, it's kind of, at the moment, this sudden, like, introduction to, like, the sewer system and, like, Lou. It's like, you know, obviously she's with the Iron Legion, so she knows some stuff, but it's like, this is definitely something she didn't think she would just so casually be able to stroll into, right? Definitely a lot to think about for my character, and, like, as Yorna as well, is just thinking about how that'll affect decisions down the line and things like that. Like,
realizing how, like, useful things like this can be sometimes. Because the Understone and things like Lou are bad, but they do have their benefits.
Yeah, and it's like, I think for Yorna, it's like, oh, I'm suddenly able to tap into this, like, knowledge and, like, system that I wasn't able to before, and it's just a very different, like, it's a lot to think about, right, for Yorna.
Does she think that other people high up know about this stuff and just ignore it? Or does she think that she is discovering stuff she wouldn't be able to otherwise?
Well, after we figured out that some of that, like, purple flower stuff was in the...
Well, the
yeah, but it was, like, outside of Lou's place that
everyone in the town, it's...
Yeah, so I think it's just, like, it has dawned on Yorna that if she's able to stroll in, there's probably ways for, like, higher up people to also, you know, tone themselves down a bit and go search these things out, like...
What else for Lily?
Like, when we faced a dryad, and, like, I was trying to deal with it. Just, like, trying to converse our way out, and that didn't work. Then it's like, shit, guess should have tried to deal with that instead. So now, like, she puts Strider as, like, okay, if it's going to end with a fight, then she'll put, like, him to deal with it, and then have her be, like, the support and, like, aid.
That when Strider gave you the great emotional pat on the back of
shit happens.
This is how it just happens like this sometimes.
Yeah, because that also just reminds me of the person you guys killed in a bit.
I think that was probably a turning point for how I roleplay and think as Strider.
Yeah.
Like, he was already... He hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
But I would say that moment of accidentally killing someone has fermented me to be more as Strider. Like, he's now become more aware of what is happening and has probably become more of himself than he was.
There's just an aspect to him that's just changed a bit, where it's like, it's still Strider, but it's like there's something in there that's kind of
a bit more serious, a bit more careful now that he's realizing what he's going up against might not just be monsters. Stuff like that. So I guess, after a life of getting used to killing just things for money, it's gotten a bit too used to it. So he's got his bolt shaved down now. Yeah. Just in case he needs to knock someone out with it. And he's...
Give them a mighty bruise.
He hasn't forgiven himself, but he's, working on... he can't really work on forgiving himself. No. He's working on not making that mistake again.
Yeah. Definitely more on his mind.
I think a part of me feels like when Strider got knocked down by the Duergar in the room, I think a part of me thinks he let that happen. Like, in a way of, like, he deserved punishment for what he did at some point. And allowing them to let their frustrations out was, in his mind, helping them cope with the loss, and as well as punishing him for what he did. But he's also like, these guys are one of the biggest syndicates, so it's not like I can let them go. So I'll let them have their fun, then give them to the police.
That's a good point. Because, you guys killed one of them. A bunch of them came after you, and now 4 more have just disappeared. The organization's going to have no idea where they've gone.
Okay, at least no killing was done this time, so it's
they
like...
don't know that.
They don't know that.
4 more of their men have just disappeared off the face of the
Plus, the one that
died, you know, that's a little bit funny, especially if, like, the guards were, like, tidy about it, because then it's also, like, we've got our thing that we're investigating, and then suddenly they're investigating their own thing, like, where are all our people going?
No, because there was that one person that left the place as well, So they saw us go in.
Yeah, and then no one came out.
And no one came out, including us.
Yeah.
But they do know, in fact, that Strider and Lily were the ones getting followed by the one that first got killed.
Yeah.
So they do know that,
it doesn't
if anything,
look
our
good.
targets are
It does not look good. I didn't even think about
and
that.
Lou knows who they are, too, so...
Yes, Lou's heard of them, because they're all from the Underdark.
So we're just like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Which, by the way, I completely forgot that we're up against the Rat King.
The Rat King, yeah.
Next
You're talking about, like, if we survive.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard fight.
I'm freaking out. I'm gonna be honest, I saw it on the table. I'm like, I don't like that, eh?
My attack spells won't do shit.
Yeah,
So
no
FPVs
psychic
support.
damage.
And you've got like 300 Ray folk to worry about.
Yeah.
We should have grabbed that flail.
Though, I got a strategy.
Yeah.
Which I won't talk about here because it must likely be used, but I got a strategy for us to win this fight. It's gonna be tough. Because both all of us working really well together, great teamwork.
This will be one of those plans that lasts half a round.
That is something
Yeah,
I
like-
wanted to mention as well. It's like I feel like Yorna is also finally understanding how Strider fights, right? Where because now it's like consciously making sure that she's there to back you
It
up.
was at the right moment too, because I think Strider was going to have a talk to her about it, and then you stepped up at the critical moment where he was like, okay, I'm going to have a talk to her after this fight, and I was like, okay, I'll let her go for a bit.
Yeah. I remember that there was a comment that you made after that fight where you were like, yeah, good, you're backing me up. You're fighting me.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's then also where I'm like, yeah, I noticed you do a bit better if I'm there to support you. Funny that.
Yeah. Well, because I was...
Like, even just logically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, discarding mechanics aside, right? It makes sense. If we're both there, it'll, you know, apply pressure.
I think there was one moment where Strider was like, keep yourself there for the sake of, like, something, but you wanted to move because they could flank you, but if they did, you would be flanking them as well anyway, so it was like...
it was just a sandwich at that point.
Yeah.
I think it worked out, though.
Yeah, and mechanically, they work really well together because we've got Sentinel. Sentinel sneak attack just work off each other. All 5 feet based.
This is great. This is going to be fun.
I will say, us beating the Rat King, I think, fully relies on Lily's spamming use of silvery barbs.
All my spell slots used for silvery barbs.
Yeah, that's
And
what I'm
just
thinking.
giving advantage as well, because with the rebarbs, you give advantage as well.
So I need to make sure I don't get hit as much, though, to keep my Hunter's Mark up.
Sure.
Because I only have so many slots.
I wonder how, like, not hard, but like how often the Rat King will hit, because it's like I'm just wondering, because I'm like, I wish I could have the extra like damage just because it's going to be halved, right? So it's like if I can get a bit more out, because then at least it also means I can use the Great Weapon Fighting, because I can only use that when I use a like two-handed weapon, and that's just re-rolling the 1 or 2 on the damage die.
I will give you some advice.
So
from
I'm
Bjorn.
just thinking about it for Yorna.
Bjorn, there were many moments playing last campaign where the audience will know from the first Meet the Cast video, Bjorn, God of Battle and Fury. He had so many moments where it was like, you guys would be fighting a bunch of people and there would be a big threat, and Bjorn's like, okay, if I gotta keep the big threat off them until they can come and help me, or I need to defeat it. But then after starting those fights, I'd realize, as Bjorn, that he's dealing enough damage that it's probably gonna kill me eventually, and no backup will be able to come help me soon enough. So I need to lose all restraints on worrying about my HP, and I need to kill it before it kills me.
I'm basically gonna like, test the waters, right? I'll go, okay, how hard does he hit? How often does he hit? And then if it's like, if I can lose the bonus 2 to the AC, then I'll be like, okay, I drop the shield, I get 2 hands.
It sometimes is, always better to try to get rid of the enemy before it gets you.
Though I think if we're both on him, it should be okay, because then also it's like, because then of course there's the issue of how often do I hit and how hard do I hit. So it's like, if you're there as well to provide advantage for me for like flanking or whatever, then it's even more worth it to like have the extra damage because I know I'll be able to hit him.
That's why I'm hoping to get the advantage from Silvery Barbs because I have so many dice rolling on my attacks if I have sneak attack on. Because I have
Slayer's Prey and
D6, Hunter's Mark D6, Slayer's Prey D6, sneak attack D6. So I've currently got 4 D6. And so I'm like, if I can get advantage and get a crit, then at least the half damage that they're going to be taken off, I'm going to do one large chunk.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought process on that. It's about roll well. Last session I was rolling pretty garbage at the start. I think I missed the most attacks. I think it was the first time I've missed that many attacks this whole campaign.
Yeah.
Because I normally hit pretty often.
It's also the first stuff you've come up against that has a relatively high AC.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think so much shit's happening in the zoo?
Oh, you mean like...
Oh, this is some like long running plot, I reckon. Like this isn't new.
I got a theory.
I feel like this has been going on for a while.
I got a theory about our bat friend, and I think potentially that theory may lead to the whole thing. Because I think the stone issue was just unlucky. I think a person with a ring fell down and it got corrupted from
Switch.
And maybe one of the undead things that are in there like bit him and turned him, and then that just kind of messed with the ring itself. But I think the bat guy got placed there by one of the wizards or sorcerers up in the flying sorcerer island.
What was that?
But that island's so far away.
It is, but it travels around, doesn't it?
Yeah. I also think that I know. I can't remember the bad guy. How long has he actually been down there? Did we figure that out?
You don't have a specific timeline, but it's
not
recent-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because my only thought is, like, from Australia's perspective, the only way to become a monstrosity like that is to have some sort of magical thing change you. And that probably has to come from someone that really knows what they're doing or high levels.
Unless it's just one of these like wizards from that floating city who's just like conducting experiments.
That's what I was thinking. And plus he got dropped into the sewer, which means I don't think he can get touched by sunlight. I think that's why he's down there. I think they were like, they did their experiment and went...
No, I reckon the sewers are the experimentation grounds.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I reckon, and that's probably how that ratkin got how he did. He just found a regular rat and was like, let's see what I can do.
That's just good. The ratkin's been there for a while now though, based on nothing. So there's a big time.
Maybe that was the first experiment?
I was trying to figure out what it was. I was rattling my brain about like, what the fuck is that rat king? I'm like, okay, it's not a rat, it's a aberration, right?
Awful.
And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck aberrations are. And actually, I can't think of any that I know.
What is an aberration?
The best way I can describe an aberration is that they're almost alien. They're things that like shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Right? They've come from whatever fucking outer plane they have.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have really encountered many aberrations in our campaigns.
Yeah, I was trying to wrap my brain around like if I've ever heard of a creature before as myself. But I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard of one that could like maybe combined its fusions.
Yeah, there is. This isn't giving too much away. There is an official D&D aberration that he was based off of, and that's kind of the stat block that I'm using. I've just altered it slightly to be the rat.
Cool, yeah.
Let's not Google that though. No.
Yeah, I was just so confused. Like, I'm like, he looks like a devil, and then because he's just so demonic looking.
I just hated the description of just a ball of flesh sitting on a stone.
While you were
I'm
explaining it, I just thought of the fucking like the brains from like the Underdog that have like the and stuff.
Yeah.
I just imagine that, but like way worse.
That's some other questions on here.
What are they like? Intellect devourers? Or
Yeah. Little brains with feet.
Yeah. Because like in Boulders, how like that one brain you pull out of the person and it suddenly grows legs. I'm just like.
Which NPC has intrigued you guys the most and why?
That's a fun question.
Sally, definitely.
I can understand Sally, but I think from Yorna's perspective, the bat definitely is an odd one. Like that's quite intriguing because it's also like I think Yorna like street level has, met all walks of life, right? But it's like, this is something very different.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So I think that definitely intrigues Yorna the most. That's the one I can think of right now. I think is definitely the bat.
I think Xavier might be mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the devil.
Yeah,
yeah.
The demon, I'll say, just to piss him off.
He did not.
No. Well, because that whole thing was kind of cool because it led into a bit of story for me as Strider, and I'm curious about his response to my question, and I'm curious about what he's going to do with the information I gave him. And I am worried about the information that I gave him because I definitely gave him way too much on purpose because I knew that if Strider was angry enough, he'd probably slip up. It's not perfect.
Don't want to slip up in front of the devil.
No, demon.
Why do you think he's involved? There's a question.
Why do you think he's involved?
Why is the devil poking around in your investigation?
He's got told to by the right hand.
Yeah, there's some like crazy like across planar plots going on there. There's something bigger going on there that it's like I can't quite wrap my head around it. There is more to it. I just don't. I have no idea.
I try to
no
make,
ideas as to what it could be.
Detective boards where you got the red string, right? But I think there's multiple things happening that make it seem like they're all one thing, but I think they're not. Yeah. And so it's about separating the puzzle pieces.
That's what I'm saying, is like his thing is related to something completely different, and then this is just what ties him to like whatever's going on here. There's just something going on.
No, he's related to our main issue though, which is the the automatons.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is it's like him poking his nose into that. I think there is something like bigger over top. Like if it was like a diagram, right? This is him, automatons. Something going on here that is.
I think the right hand must have something invested into whoever maybe whoever's organizing creations of these new automatons, which are the new fuel powered ones.
Yeah, they're refurbished, being upgraded essentially.
I think there must be an issue with the means that it's been upgraded that has piqued the devil's interest, or someone of higher up in whoever's doing all the shit had made a pact with the devil once before, and now it's them going, maybe we shouldn't have done that, and we've got to stop. We've got to keep an eye on what the fuck they're doing with what we've given them. Yeah. I think.
I also reckon like the fuel, I feel like is definitely got a lot of like natural properties to it. I think a lot of it is being drawn from like nature, and like I feel like something has stuffed up.
Like with that, like one theory that I came up with in my head is that it's like remains of the dragon that fell, and so they're taking like something from the dragon and then using it for like either like.
Well, it's like done something weird to the dirt or something, and so anything they use from that area is just tainted.
I hope not.
But either way, I think it is definitely something has screwed up along the way that people didn't think would happen, and now a ton of people are being affected by it. Like, I don't know, there's just something.
It's on purpose. Because the
you reckon someone purposefully doing something funky with that fuel?
Yeah, well, because the fuel in itself shouldn't have been made. Because that's where the issue stems. The automatons worked perfectly fine with the runic crystal system, and someone's gone and made this special fuel to make upgraded versions. But why do they?
It's just like a hoax or something. Like they're saying, "Oh, it's a huge difference," but actually, there's no real difference.
Yeah, and why do they need upgraded ones? Why there's so much mithril and adamantine getting ordered to the city?
That too.
Right, like you got to think, if these things turned on the city, not much people could do against them. They're resistant to normal attacks, right?
Some of them are immune to most normal attacks.
So it's going to be, if someone was evil and took control of them with the new fuel, they could pretty much rain down on this city.
Unless it is the fuel, like something in the fuel that would make it easier to control them. Like maybe it's harder to control them with the runic stuff, and they're like, oh, the fuel will make it, like maybe there's some property in it that it's like easier to control for like a single person. I
do have a theory about kind of that involves the fuel though.
Yeah.
I think, and this is not a Strider theory, this is a personal theory.
This is kind of theory.
I think Yorna has meant one person that is in on the arrangement.
Ah, yes.
I believe your captain or whoever, who was its office,
Carmine's
office.
The head of the Legion?
Yep, I think the head of the Legion is on it.
You think she's in on it?
Yeah, easy. Because of one thing, the fuel sample did not get given to the gear, but that I think it's because the fuel has its uses. And she's using it for the paralyzing aspect that it gives. Because why keep it?
From Yorna's perspective, she thinks that it has been handed down, but I think that, like, Yorna thinks that Natasha just hadn't been let in on it yet. Because Natasha's kind of, like, she is a mind, right, at the gear, like, she you know. But there must be some, like, level to it where she is not privy to that information, maybe, is kind of the thing that, like, at the moment, Yorna's not digging into it too much. Also because it's like, if she starts poking around too much, questions start getting asked. Like, it sucks, because for Yorna, she also has to try and keep up appearances, as well as try and figure out what's going on. Especially considering, like, oh yeah, she's been serving the Iron Legion for, 10 years? Yeah. And if they're the reason that stuff is going weird, it's like, it's a lot to unpackage.
I feel like Yorna comes across as a bit too trustworthy of these people towards Strider.
And about that, so me personally, I've been thinking about how I've been role-playing Yorna, and there's definitely things that I will be tweaking that will reflect a different... Because I think at the moment, Yorna is giving you guys, like, the feeling that, as you said, she's very trusting, right? But it's like, that's not something I want to convey to you guys, that she just sees everything at face value, right? But that's something personally that I'm working on with Yorna as a character.
Alright, another good question. What's everyone's favourite part of the campaign from episode 1 to 10 so far?
Oh, that's a good one.
Including you, Jacob.
Yeah, I'll go last.
Favorite part?
Audition. Or
that was really good. That was fun.
Yeah.
Favorite part as a player, or favorite part as the character?
As a player.
As a player?
Yeah.
The friggin' goblin encounter interactions that we had. Because that was so funny. Like, it was just an adventure, right? It's like, it was a fun little adventure. Because it's you know, there was just so many aspects of it that I really enjoyed. So
I feel like mine is weird because there's so many fun epic moments. Like I could choose the first 5 minutes of Strider when he came in and was able to just murder through hordes of
Or was it when you one-shot the spider?
But it's not even any of my sick battle moments. I think my favorite moment that I enjoyed was talking to S while sad.
Yeah.
I think because I was Strider in that moment in RP, and I just felt his pain, but I was also able to kind of watch as an outsider while doing it, and I was like, man, this was so RP heavy and so cinematic to me that I was like, this is probably my favorite moment so far, and I think it's going to be really cool when people watch it, and so I'm curious what people are going to think of it.
Yeah. No, same moment for me, but different reason, and we actually talked about this, is I loved accidentally killing a Duergar, which is usually universally considered a monster and could be part of any adventure. You'd kill it and not think twice.
Yeah.
But it's the denormalization of killing a humanoid, right, within city walls. Makes you think a little bit about what's actually happening.
Yeah, I think that was something that I enjoyed talking to you about, because we talk about last campaign where we slaughtered goblins, we slaughtered, I don't know,
mages.
Mages, like, we're like, oh yeah, this guy hostile.
Yeah, they are bad people, we have to kill them.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
This ogre that's running away because he's afraid, so it means he has intelligence. Yeah. I lightning bolt from 100 feet away and make a hole in his chest, you know? Yeah. Shoot the queen's arm off. Yeah. By accident, Albert, but like still risky move. But then it's kind of like, it felt really painful killing something and then saying that it wasn't right, and then it flips the script and it became something whole different. Yeah, and I think that's interesting. I know it hasn't got brought up, but Strider was so pissed off. He hadn't had a chance to talk to Yorna because so many things happened, but he had a little talk with Lily, and because Lily's new to the whole inventory thing, he went pretty easy on her. But like, Yorna's a guard, so he was going to be like... but everyone was way too chill for his liking with Xavier. Yeah. Because everyone was talking to him like he was just a regular dude and was like, oh yeah, like maybe we can help each other, and everyone's being real friendly to him. And he's just like, devils are inherently evil. There is no good devil.
I think for me as like Yorna, it's from Yorna's perspective, it was potential information, but also again, this is the same issue that I have had, is that if I wanted to stay true to Yorna's character, she would have been 100% more on guard and 100% more like, this is a demon within this is a devil within city walls. This is bad. You know, again, it's something that I need to put a lot more thought into, because it's like, you're right. I was looking back on it now, I would have roleplayed that way differently.
It was because Strider's just sitting there and he was fuming throughout the whole situation, because he's just like, how dare he enter the city and now it's just sit in front of us, right? Like, how can I keep my composure how I am? And he tried to keep it in front of everyone. Yeah,
in the same regard, Xavier was sitting there being like, how the fuck are they so chill right now? Yeah. Like, he was fully ready to have a go at you guys.
Bust out some moves.
See, I love that, because through Xavier was acting, you know, as a devil probably would, like a big shot. He's like, you can't defeat me, I am all powerful, blah blah blah. And then to me, Strider's just like, bitch, I've got your name in my book. Yeah. What you gonna do? I know your weaknesses, your strengths, and currently, you ain't shit.
It's the issue with the devil though, right? You kill them, all you're doing is put them in the naughty corner.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They just go home.
But it leads to really cool moments though, because you can be like, go back to where you came from or some shit. And that's why I was like, okay, I need to have a one-on-one conversation with this guy, because I'm like, Strider's already like trying to keep his composure while everyone's like doing their thing, and then like I knew that facade probably would crack, and I wasn't gonna crack as much. I was gonna keep it still like he's keeping his composure, trying to learn what he needs to learn without being too angry. But then you frickin' made him reveal his true self as a devil, and you dropped the persona of the human. Yeah. And I was just like, nah, no way that Strider's gonna look at the red flesh of a devil and not be like, bitch, how dare you leave this area or you die. I didn't expect to be able to reveal like so much of Strider, and it's been really fun though.
Honestly, you've been doing your character right from my point of view, right? Like, I'm sitting there like, man, this guy's thinking everything out, like to like, it's like you have these moments and I go, that's such a Strider thing. You have this moment, that's such a Strider thing. You know,
well, that's the difference between role playing for the whole game versus role playing during conversation, right? It's like you're always in Strider's head, but some people, and I don't know, it might be what you're dealing with, is you're flicking in and out.
I am flicking in and out.
Because there'll be so many times where like Lily and Strider are having a conversation and you'll chime in as Amy. Yeah.
I think what helps me, I feel like when I play D&D, I less think of like what they would do, but I just kind of become them. Yeah. And it's only because if, let's say, Yorna is in a conversation with whatever her captain was, I may not be there, but I will always be going like, what is Strider thinking? If I was there, what would my thought be?
That's a good way actually to stay in character while someone else is having a conversation with someone.
But yeah, definitely helps having conversations in your head in your free time. Yeah. Like, if you're in the shower, I just think I talk to myself as Strider and as someone else and go, how would you talk back to this type of thing? And then it kind of just helps simulate Strider into my brain.
Yeah, 100%.
The numbers start ticking in. It's just like Strider.
You start having an opposite problem where, like, in real life, you're slipping into Strider.
I feel like if you're in a sick D&D campaign and you're really good at your character and can be your character, a part of them should become a part of you in your daily life, no matter what.
Unless you're the DM, don't do that.
Yeah. Writing letters helped me the most. I originally did it for that, like that day. I was like, I'm gonna do a bunch of cool things with Strider, get me in the mindset. I read a few letters, some diary entries, and then now I've just keep doing it because like sometimes it's really fun to read them in character, and just like feel that emotion. Actually, this is a good question. Who do you think, from episode 1 to 10, which character has had the most character development? Because I think Lily. Lily's had a roller coaster though.
Yeah, well, because if you think about it, Lily kind of came into this going, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it big on stage, or that kind of. Oh, I'm finding things in a sewer now, yo! And it's
she
like,
came here.
That must have been such a change in perspective.
She came here for the festival, met new people, and then became part of an adventuring group. And now it's like, oh, yes, we're doing this now.
Well, I feel like for Lily, it's like she was like, I'm happy. We accidentally killed someone. We're not getting chased. I'm kind of getting back to normal. Got a job again. I understand my point, my position in this adventure role. And I want to be here. So it's kind of this whole like up and down
roller coaster of emotions.
Massive self-discovery.
I'm personally excited. I think out of every character, I'm more excited to see what Yorna has behind the curtain.
I am too.
Because nothing like Strider, I've like things have already come out. Strider's had some like roleplay moments. I've gotten really no information from Lily other than the Sweet Something's whole job thing, and hearing that she's trying to get some famous people, some deets, you know. And then Yorna's just kind of so far being like, yeah, I'm helping out because I care about the city. Come from a family of druids. That's all I know.
It's like that. There is stuff going on behind, like, you know, the Yorna curtains, but it's like, again, there's probably been opportunities to leak through things about Yorna, or like Yorna's personality and things like that I just hadn't given enough thought, right? Sure. Where it just hasn't happened because I haven't been thinking about it, but it's like, going forward, I am excited to share more about Yorna and just how she reacts to things, and just so you guys actually know who Yorna is, because at the moment it definitely feels like you guys don't really know what she's doing, right? Yeah.
Just kind of doing it.
At the moment, it feels like Yorna is just kind of there, right?
I'm half expecting that a big turning point for Yorna would be the end of the festival. That's what Strider's waiting for, I think. Because that's you have to go back to work, and we're an adventuring group. That's a full-time thing. So he's like, that is the moment where Yorna has to decide fate, you know?
Decide fate.
So that's where I think he's interested to see what colors Yorna is then. What is your, like, out of any moment that's happened, do you think that we've done something completely off?
Completely different.
We're like, what are these guys doing?
Are we too slow at our investigations? Or we're way off the mark?
Nah, man, we skipped that whole bit for finding the missing neighbor.
Yeah, there was that. The biggest place that I have had to go completely off the books is when you guys were investigating the automaton. You guys. Essentially, I had like a similar with the goblin thing. Like, here's some encounters, here's some areas that they might go. You guys got halfway through the first sentence, and then I had to scrap all of them. Which is fine. You guys still ended up meeting Xavier, which was kind of the antithesis of that. But everything along the way didn't happen. So I'm excited to see if any of that comes back around later in the campaign.
Comes back to bite us.
I feel like this campaign's hard. Like, because we the last campaign we had such a one-sided goal.
Yeah, right? These are the bad guys. They're going here. Fight.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. Prepare as we go.
Yes.
Right here, it's like, and Strider's meant to be so good at insight, investigating, being smart, and so I'm like, I have to think on my toes, and I'm like, but there are so many puzzles and different issues happening that they all kind of merge, and I'm like, it's so hard to like.
There is a lot going on, right? It's certainly...
Like, supposed to happen is in the center of this apparently city, based on our information. It's supposed to be something that killed a bunch of dryads. Yeah. That's natural or unnatural. We'll know when we see it, bullshit, and we're like, damn. Kind of want to figure that out sooner than later, to be honest.
I feel like that is something that we will just come across. I feel like that is just something that, like, we might have to go out of our way a little bit, but I feel like it'll somehow come up when we least expect it.
Or probably be connected to something.
I will say, last campaign there was a lot of like, you guys knew when stuff was going to happen. This will be like, stuff is going to happen, and if you can figure it out beforehand, you'll be way better equipped for it. Otherwise, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
So it'll be, the further you are ahead of the curve, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, so far in this campaign, I'm sitting there like, there is like so much, like, I have this weird like feeling in my chest. I'm like, there is something, but I don't know what it is, right? There's just this weird sense of there is something going on. I just don't know what.
I think what I'm really curious about is the Succubus.
Yes.
Because we were told by Xavier to get rid of them.
Dispose of them.
Yeah.
But however, Strider instantly was like, two things went to his head. He was like, I'm gonna kill it, not because you told me to, but because that's my fucking job.
Yeah.
Second, you guys care a lot about your own kind and stick together quite a lot.
Yeah.
Why do you want to get rid of this, and what information does it have for me? You know, like, because if you're gonna get rid of the Succubus,
that's how I see it as well. Is like, if he specifically was like, get rid of it, it's like, why?
Yeah.
I'll question it, but I'm also killing it. It's just
Like that is definitely a Strider thing, right? Is to go, it probably has like information, but also it's going down the toilet.
Like the Rat King. The minute I heard he was kill people, I'm like, oh yeah.
I still feel so bad about that comment that I made, because it was so out of character.
You know what the funniest part was about that? Because I was watching it when I was editing. The greatest part is like, you're obviously out of character, and then the minute it was said, you did your sit-up thing, and you went into Yorna's voice, and then did it, so it was fully in Yorna.
That's the thing, is like, I activated Yorna, but my brain wasn't, like, my brain was still behind, right? Where it was like, on the outside, it was Yorna. On the inside, it was just Amy's unhinged commentary. Yeah.
I do like that you tried to, like, protect your thought process too, where we're like, that's kind of fun. You're like, well, you know, if they just fall, and I'm like, and you're trying to defend it.
Can I fix this? Can I fix this? In character? No. So, listen, I suddenly have amnesia. It never happened, but also it sadly did happen. Sorry, I just stabbed you.
How do you think the group's dynamic has evolved over the last few episodes? I feel like it's changed quite a bit.
I
feel like there's a lot. I think maybe it's gone up and down a few times and back up.
I feel like mainly with Strider and Lily that they like bonded a lot.
Yeah, I'd say Strider and Lily have had a chance to, because I feel like whenever an event's happened, Strider has gone and talked to Lily to be like, you know, don't worry yourself. Plus, especially last session, episode 10, right? Where Strider pretty much said, like, smile for the both of us, and if there is any, you know, darkness, let me deal with that, because I'm already in it, you know?
I think, in a way, part of you guys just, like, connect. It's just some sort of, like, connection.
I feel like it also fits that, like, we're similar in age. So it's like,
true. I think, to be fair, I don't think Strider thinks of us as similar in age. I think Strider treats Lily like she's a lot younger. Which is maybe, like, offensive to Lily's character. But not that she's, like, you know, like, not intelligent, but like that. I think he sees Lily as the sweet, innocent girl who's come from not from this city, and he knows the hardships of the city more than anyone, and is kind of like trying to keep that innocence because it's hard to get back. You know, so it's trying to keep her safe and help her.
In the beginning, we clashed a lot, more like not like directly, but there was definitely conflict in how we both handled situations. Where now it feels like we're slowly getting on the same page.
It feels like Yorna is, or at least at the start was, I trust everyone until proven they're untrustworthy. Whereas Strider is like, I will not trust someone until they prove they're trustworthy. And that just caused a bit of conflict on how you guys are approaching stuff.
And that's another note as well with Yorna.
Since those clashes, the reason like we've had less clashes is because I think Yorna's compromised a few times to how Strider sees things. Because Strider's kind of ended up taking a leadership role when it comes to those decisions.
Because now Yorna, after having met like Lou and stuff and meeting S and all of that, is now she is learning that there are like other perspectives, and now she's kind of understanding that your perspective is also very important. Like I think in the beginning she was like, I'll just, see how things go and like try and make sure that we don't, end up in a bad situation where it's like now Strider has like proven himself where it's like, okay, I can take on how he views the situation and kind of analyze it and go, okay, and go from there.
But I think I would like to see more interaction between Strider and Yorna, because I feel like they have had the less interaction from each other. I feel like Lily and Strider have had the most, and then probably Lily and Yorna. Yeah. But I think Yorna and Strider have not had really too many chances to have combos. That's because they, at the time of them having combos, they were on opposite ends of how they thought about things. And she's an Iron Legion, so
Yeah.
We'll talk about that trash.
Hey, I'll make Strider change his mind about all the Iron Legion members. I'm the good one.
He settled his mind when he heard an Iron Legion say like, find his keepers.
No.
He was like,
no,
done.
Hey, don't let one bad apple ruin the whole.
No.
Yorna at the moment is like, being with the Iron Legion gives me a lot of like authority and benefits in that, but then also being with this group gives me a lot of freedom, right? Where it's like, in that moment when she was asked the question, she's like, I don't know, like you said, like, oh, I'll make them both work. That's all she could come up with in that moment, because she hadn't she's still tossing up the like pros and cons, but it's like, now I've thought about it, and for Yorna, I know where I want to take it, and then I'll just wait till we play.
But I think that's what helped. That's where like Lily and Strider's probably current mentality went through, because they've talked about being sickened as the party so far, and so like it kind of shows where in like episode 10 everyone's kind of going to sleep, and Lily and Strider kind of have their conversation before going to bed, and it's kind of like we're still seeing if this party's going to be a thing in 4 days, right? Like it's not like it's in a month. It's like it's a few days until potentially this whole thing breaks apart, and we've got to find someone else to help, maybe. You know?
Yeah, and I mean the other thing is, narratively, you guys have only been together for 5-6 days.
Yeah.
That's the thing though too.
I think that's also like, thinking about it now, is like, for Yorna, it's like this is her job. Right? so it's like, you've just been told to join a party like that you've known for like a week.
Yeah.
In the
Gotta save the cities in danger.
Yeah. Well, again, it's like there are pros and cons to both, and Yorna has made a decision.
The con has been an Iron Legion.
No. Stop bragging on the Iron Legion.
It is, unless you do something.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the moment it's just been reporting to Carmine and assuming everything's chill. Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're the only person that has that in.
Yeah, like, have you thought about, like, what you want Lily's overarching story, like, in your head? Have you thought about, like, roughly kind of what you expect or what you want? Not saying what it is.
Like, yes, but it's mainly, like, solo, not really it being, like, as a party.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Because
Lily's already got wheels turning.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, it's like, because for me, I already have, like, ideas of what I know what I want Strider to look like in 20 levels.
Yeah.
Like, I know where I want him to end up.
Yeah.
How that happens as a solo or as a party, I just know that that's the direction. Right? So I guess that always helps, because every character needs a goal.
Yeah.
So it's fun, though.
Well, Lily said her goal was mainly to make her way to the big stage and the brass.
Yeah.
So I think Strider's deal is eventually exacting revenge for what happened to his family.
Yeah, I've already done that, haven't I?
No, I think you want to take down, like...
The troll stuff, you mean?
Yeah. Wasn't it, like, devil-related, though, as well?
No.
No?
I got my pharmacy household was in the Earth District, sorry, not Snow District, when the troll attack came in. I forgot how many trolls there were, and I helped take down one. But I was afraid.
But like, I think your thing is finding out how all of that happened, and like just reasons. I think you're looking for answers.
I will say I think it was an organized attack because I don't think trolls.
Like someone was.
Trolls don't work right like together.
No.
Or like in charge of them. So you're
that's
after whoever.
It's like how did they enter the city when we've got all these Iron Legion around?
That is the best.
So I stand on it.
But that's my theories on you is you're looking for answers related to that.
Okay. What about Lily?
My theories on Lily probably is that like I don't know, like my theories are just genuinely that she just wants to make it big on stage and just be like, yeah, well, because who was that dude in the founder of the
opera.
William Bordeaux.
Yeah, that guy. I think like my theories about Lily is that she wants to get to like that level where she eventually wants to maybe have her own like not like performance like caravan like and then maybe like go from there. Like I don't know. That's like my theory is like
she starts a circus.
Yeah. No, not a circus, but like you
That's
know. Yeah. Like
got a spot for you.
You are like you're like the starring role, and then you have like a bunch of people who like. You know, that's my theories, is that you just genuinely want to make it big.
I have a way larger theory for Lily.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, you like kind of heard some stuff.
I don't know if this is Strider's thoughts, because I feel like Strider thinks of taking care of Lily in a sense. But I feel like Lily is a runaway royalty of some sort.
That's fun.
That's what I think.
You think I was raised?
I think you were raised in a higher income place, maybe royalty or a little bit below, like noble maybe-ish. And you didn't like it or something, and you're on the run to try kind of live your own life. And I don't know how far you've come, because you've come to Argentum, but like there's that other big city, so maybe you came from there.
That one.
Yeah. And potentially that you've made some friends with like traveling merchants, and that's how you managed to keep getting hitch rides with them through each town, and then you've just ended up over here hoping to make enough money to live and not be found by your fan.
That's wild.
I know.
I like
my grandparents are looking for me.
The only thing I know is because Lily's just out of nowhere. She's here. She's looking for higher up, so I'm like, is she trying to find info to see if she's being like found, or is she trying to find like out why is she looking for nobles, right? There's gonna be something related to royalty, and she gives me when you asked the question about like poverty and stuff like that, I was like, only someone from high nobility would ask such a question.
Yeah,
what's Yorna got going on?
What's Yorna got going on? I think she comes from a druid village, and that's weird as fuck because she's a fighter.
Yeah.
But she said it was because your dad was like really like chill. He was like, yeah, don't be a druid. So.
That's not what he said.
That's how Strider felt. Like I feel like it's weird for like a druid to be like, yeah, I want more for you. Don't be a druid. I'm like, our druids all out, but peace and love to nature.
You know, like after like Lily asked the question about like your family and how you like pound druids and stuff, I feel like you're a really like Lily thinks you'll be a really late bloomer with like some druid abilities, and then you'll just be like, wow.
There is less about Yorna and more about like her family.
Yeah.
I think her family pissed off the hag and is the reason behind a bit of hatred between Woodend and the hag and Dryad. And I think to keep Yorna safe and strong, they sent her out and allowed her to become a fighter, then hone the nature abilities that could lead to her being able to be tracked, or maybe give her a stronger connection that she might find out something that she shouldn't find out. So I think potentially you're getting secrets hidden to you by not having druidic powers.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like with Strider, Lily just sees him as like okay, he's well versed in like taking down monsters and stuff. Although she is very speculative on how you like got there.
Yeah, you did ask me, what did you ask me? You asked me like how I knew how I speak. Oh, you asked how I speak devil or whatever Finnish language. I guess that's the one thing that probably throws people like off, like what's going on, is because like he speaks so many languages.
Very learned.
Yeah, like right. It's like, why does he speak so many languages? So I just read a lot. I just read a lot of books. You get most languages in D&D are based on like other languages, so when really like technically, I feel like D&D languages are probably more easier to learn than languages in real life, because like there's so many that are derived off like if you learn Dwarven, you could learn so many.
It's similar though.
Yeah,
like we have very similar stuff.
Yeah, but Stride's got a higher intelligence than I
do.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's where he gets all the. Yeah, I think I don't know if his theories are gonna be right about anyone. I like my theory about Yorna.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not much to go off.
It's fun.
But it's you know, it's what's there. There's something to do with Woodend. Woodend did something fucked up. It's
yeah.